You're welcome, man. You're welcome, man. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, you may be seated. You may be seated. You may be seated.
I'm a little lonely up here, but let me try to get in the light. I'm a brown-skinned lady, so you might not be able to see me. I'm over here. Here's where I am, everybody. You can see me. Thank you. Well, it is a blessing to be able to come and to join you tonight. I consider life a blessing, and I consider the opportunity to be with you here in the Akpan-Iquot State Association of Nigeria. I have been with you before. I'm so delighted to be with you again. And I want to thank Ms. Obot for her kind introduction and her leadership of the local chapter. Let us give her a large applause for her dynamic leadership. Elsie is my friend. I'm delighted. And she indicated that she's going to give me her whole attire that she's wearing there. So that's why I'm saying all these great words. But I am so grateful to her for her leadership. Let me acknowledge John Etienne, the national president is here. Sir, where are you from? Where are you from?
In the U.S. or in Akpan-Iquot?
In the U.S.
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, we welcome you from the sisters, city of brotherly love, to the grandest dynamic city, Houston, Texas. How about that? And where are you from in Nigeria?
Akpan-Iquot.
And tell me east, west, which way? I know in Nigeria by the east, the west, the north, and the south. You're south?
Congresswoman, we don't use cardinal points where I come from.
But you're in America now, so tell me which way you are.
Southeast.
Southeast, all right. When I get over there, I won't use counterpoints, all right? Your sister is very quick. I'm not going to let you get that, but I'm so delighted that you're here. Let's give him a very big hand again. Thank you so very much for your presence here today. And I'm not sure if he said Congress or Council, but I am in the Congress with your congressperson. I think you have Shaka Fatah. So I will see him and let him know that you are behaving well right here in Houston, Texas. My brothers and sisters, for those of you who do not know, let me say that I consider myself a kin and a sister in the sisterhood and brotherhood. Having studied in Nigeria, for some of you I've said this before. Many of you know that I studied at the University of Nigeria at Lagos and Ibadan, and am delighted to be able to continue that kinship as the chairwoman of the Congressional Nigerian Caucus in the United States Congress, led by myself and Congressman Shabbat, a Democrat and Republican. You have a caucus in the United States Congress. I'm delighted to say that. Let me also say that I'm pleased to have as a guest Dooney Hebron, who will stay in fellowship with you, and I thank her so very much for her leadership and kinship and friendship to Nigeria. Please give her hand, Dooney Hebron, who is a friend, and we thank her very much. I'll speak just a moment for the importance of the Akpan-Iquot State Association, having known of the great leadership of that state and the investment and the great progress that that state has made under your governors, and also your commitment to a great and better Nigeria. First of all, the association is needed in its connectedness between Nigerian Americans and Nigeria, and in forcing and investing in the education and cultural exchange that you bring to this community, but also to the United States and to Nigeria. We're on a surge of a pathway. We may even be, in the words of John F. Kennedy, ask not what Nigeria can do for you, but what you can do for Nigeria. As a student of Nigeria, lived with families in Nigeria, it appears that my legislative agenda has been one to focus on this great country. And to say to you that we're in a moment in history where all are looking to applaud. As you well know, the United States cannot take sides. I worked intently with the previous president, the existing president, who President-elect Buhari called a great Nigeria. And the world thanks Nigeria for a democratically elected election that has been affirmed by those who were there to observe. Remember, the United States cannot take sides. We cannot make those of you who are unhappy, happy, or those of you who are happy, unhappy. But what we must do is a duly elected new president to be sworn in on May 29th. We must begin to turn Nigeria to its greatest and highest level. This is a moment in history. And it's not often when a nation, some of you may say, well, it was a moment in history 20 years ago, a moment in history 5 years ago. What are you saying, Congresswoman? As you well know, Nigeria is the most populous nation on the continent. The growing body of economic engine, you will not be able to hold back the power of the continent. And every time I'm in a meeting talking about Africa, I am talking about the United States developing the grandest and greatest friendship with the continent and a great and greater relationship with Nigeria. You who are here representing the great state that you represent have a powerful opportunity. For the roads that have been built, the buildings that have been built is a testament that what can be done in Africa and Nigeria is not to be held back. What about the powerful force of the 20-somethings and the 30-somethings who hold in their hand an apple, not one that you eat, and are on Yahoo and Cloud and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and everything else? You are not going to hold them back. They are a powerful consuming entity, and I have said that Nigeria and the United States needs to run as fast toward each other to build an economic bridge that no one can break. So as a member of the United States Congress, we have been in meetings just this past week discussing with the head of the African Union, Dr. Zuma, and a number of other ambassadors about how we energize to pass the African Growth and Opportunity Act, the reigniting and reauthorizing of that legislation to create a pathway for goods from Nigeria and the continent into the United States and our goods going into the continent. We want business. What about you? But this pathway to victory, this message of economic opportunity must be wrapped in truth. Just about a year ago, this past week, I was in Abuja, Borno State. I wish to sit at the table of economic opportunity, but I was there on a humanitarian challenge at that time to find the Chibok girls. Something that we cannot ignore. Meeting with those who had escaped, seeing the broken lives of families, and a dad that was there who broke down and cried because his daughter was not found, and today she is not as well. To be able to see the women who had organized Bring Back Our Girls, I came back with a sense of passion that we spread the word all over. Today, the Forward Times, a black newspaper in Houston, 50+ years old, continues to have on their headline, Bring Back the Girls. It can be no less important to you than it is to me. And the new administration that was elected partly of the frustration of many Nigerians on the persistent and evil violence of Boko Haram must stand up and be counted. I'll pray for Boko Haram, but while I'm praying for them, I want them to cease and desist from the violence against Christians and Muslims and girls and boys and schools and places of worship and hospitals, and you must be too. We cannot do this without the body politic of Nigerian Americans. And yes, I cannot be the one to talk about corruption and have some of you in this room look askance and maybe not want me to talk about it. But if you're looking at promise and opportunity, then you must look at the using of dollars in the government to be able to be spread for everybody. I love rich people. Anybody rich in here? Yeah. God has blessed you. There's a rich woman there. Praise the Lord. There is no detriment to rich people. In fact, we were supposed to be meeting with the richest gentleman in Nigeria. We hope to see him soon. We won't call his name. Maybe it's changed. But we know in the biblical word, the word says it takes a lot to get into heaven. But they can get there by being generous.